Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 5 Drinks to Midnight. Today we're out in front of the Palace Bar in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and we're going to go talk with Schell, one of the baddest New York bartenders there is. Let's go say hi. Thank you, Lauren, for joining us today.
I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome to 5 Drinks to Midnight.
Thank you.
5 questions, 5 drinks. First drink is?
A shot of Fernet.
Excellent.
I know you hate it. I'm so sorry. You don't have to shoot it. I'm not going to shoot it. Yeah.
All right, first question.
Ready.
How does somebody who studied social working in Ohio, psychology in Florida, end up as one of the originals at Milk and Honey?
Ooh, this is the origin story question. Yeah. Got it. I appreciate the phrasing of it. I started working in bars when I was in college at FSU in Tallahassee, and I started as a shot girl.
Okay.
Almost brought you a photo, but I thought better of it. That was my first ever bar job that lasted, I think, 1 summer, and then I started bartending there. And I did that the rest of the way through college, and when I actually did grad school here at Columbia, and my first semester, I was put into a placement at Family Court in Tribeca as a part of, getting my degree. And there was a bar around the corner that everybody went to, court officers, judges, everybody went there. And so I ended up there with some interns one day and happened to have my bartending resume on me because I was looking for jobs and hadn't officially started looking for any in New York, but was about to. And the owner was there and I handed him my resume, and that was how I got my first New York City bartending job.
Excellent.
And I did that for part of the time while I was in the social work world, but once I started doing full-time work, I quit bartending, and that must have been for maybe 2 or 3 years only. And in that time, I got exposed to the Milk and Honey family, and it was right around the time, it was maybe like 6 months after Little Branch opened, that I started going there and found out about it. I was married, and my husband and I at the time decided that, our ultimate goal was to open our own place. At that point, I don't think we knew that we wanted to do it in Australia, but we just knew that was the end game. And he was interested in Milk and Honey and that whole world. And so he started working there, and the more time I spent there, the more I grew attached to the concept and grew to appreciate the things that Sasha stood for and what he was teaching his staff. And we thought that it would be a good idea to open a bar like that at some point wherever it was.
Sure.
So I gradually transitioned out of the social work world and then started working at Little Branch on the floor. And a few months after that, a bartending shift opened up that I didn't think I was in line for. I thought there were people who came before me who absolutely should have had that shift. And for whatever reason, it just worked out that either it wasn't right for them, and I got it. And ended up there, and then got trained by Richie Boccato.
Excellent.
Which I have been thankful for every day since.
Gotta love Richie.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
First question down.
Wow.
So
oh my God, it is. Way easier than I thought.
On to drink 2.
Yes. A glass of red wine.
Excellent. It's perfect.
I'm staying very true to myself here.
Excellent. No, this is amazing. I actually know nothing about wine whatsoever, so this is great.
Pinot Noir.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Question 2.
Yes.
Do you have any tips for a youngin' trying to break into the business?
As somebody who wants to be a bartender or somebody who wants to own their own place? Does it matter?
I mean, I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
I mean, I think nowadays kids see this as like bartending is the great thing. Like they don't understand. Like
it's pretty great.
Well, I mean, it is really great, but like they don't understand the work that actually goes.
Sure, especially into the programs that you're referring to.
Yeah.
And so, what advice would I give to somebody who wants to work at, let's say, Little Branch or Dutch Kills or something like that? Show up and be a guest as often as possible, and be a good guest.
Okay.
Just hang out, watch people make drinks, observe as much as you possibly can, befriend the staff, and do that often enough, and down the road let them know that you're interested. Like, don't sort of put it out there right away. You don't necessarily, I mean, you can be true to yourself.
Sure.
But yeah, spend time in the bars that you want to work at and show that you have a genuine interest in how they do things, and not just that you want to be a bartender, but that you care about the work that they're doing there in that place.
Okay.
And don't necessarily show off in any way. Just be humble.
Sure.
Perfect. Wow, that's number 2?
That's number 2. Cheers.
Cheers. And so we can't keep the same drink.
We can.
Can we?
I mean, do you want to like?
I would totally just get another glass of red wine if this was empty.
This is your story.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
all right.
Let's keep it going.
All right. Cool.
All right. Hit me.
Well, then on for question 3, continuing on with the same mailbox.
Yeah.
You are a world traveler. And from your Instagram, we see that you are out quite a bit experiencing the bar world.
Yes.
Who is your favorite drinking buddy and why?
Oh my goodness. Oh, there are so many people that will kill me if I don't say their name. I've traveled a bunch. When I was married, my husband and I traveled extensively. That was aside from saving up to open the Everly. That's how we spent our money. But most recently, I have sort of 2 sets of travel partners. They're the women who own this place. Yeah. Rita and Mary.
Okay.
And then there's Carol and Gil, who you are familiar with.
Yeah.
And so I would say they're the people that I travel with the most and that I get to have the most sort of experiences in bars around the country and around the world. Certainly with Carolyn, we've gone farther. And so I feel like I have to say Carolyn Gill wins by default.
Excellent.
I love you, Mary. I love you, Rita.
Favorite place that you've been then? Like, I mean,
in terms of specific bars?
I mean, just like favorite travel destination. Like,
it's so hard to pick. I used to go to London quite a lot, and I haven't been doing that recently in the past few years, and I miss it so much. It's one of the few places that the very first time I stepped off the plane, I felt like I was home. It's such a cheesy thing to say, but it was true. And so it's not even really about their cocktail bars for me. Most places aren't. It's really just about the feel of just bars in general and what community feels like inside the industry in those places. So I like London.
Like this place too is completely like a 180 from what Little or even
sure. Yeah.
But it's so awesome.
It's so awesome.
It's so awesome.
And you see how it is, like I like it here so much, and part of it is because I've spent so much time here, but when I walk in the door, I see 5 or 6 people that I know right off the bat, and it actually feels like I'm living in Cheers, the TV show, and there is this huge sense of community here in Greenpoint, and specifically at this bar that I appreciate so much, and that's what I look for when I'm out traveling and going to other bars.
I mean, for me, it's also being a Midwest person, like it felt like a Midwest bar.
Yeah.
Like you walked in and the regulars immediately checked you out. Like, who the fuck are you?
Well, first it's to be like, do we know this person? Should we be saying hi?
Yeah.
And then next is, there's a new face in here, and that's always exciting.
Excellent. All right. Question 3.
Let's keep it going.
All right. You and Vito made the expat. What's the story behind the expat?
I think we have different stories because it was a drink that we were both. Vito can absolutely correct me if I'm remembering this wrong, but it was a drink that we were both sending out for Bartenders Choice around the same time. And it's just a variation of a bourbon shake or a gimlet or however you want to use the phrasing. Shake is the term we use. And so because Milk and Honey and Little Branch are so rooted in getting back to the basics and sending out classics, a lot of times we do like things that are as simple as a gimlet or a daiquiri or a shake, which are virtually all the same drink, right? And at that point, this was 10 or so years ago, we were looking at small variations on those classics so that we were still, staying true to what Sasha told us and making sure that there weren't, an outsized number of ingredients in the drink so you could still taste everything. And we started doing this bourbon shake with mint and bitters. And I'm sure we talked about it at some point or multiple points, but it was just, we sort of both ended up at the same place at the same time. And then I moved to Australia, shortly thereafter, probably sometime within the next year or so. And someone sent me a text message one day saying, we've been sending this drink out so much as Bartender's Choice, and we think of you every single time that you do it, and we really miss you, and we want, the 2 of us, whoever it was, I think it was Jane Danger and someone else, said, will you just name the drink for us? And I was feeling a little homesick and just said, the expat. And if you guys like it, you like it. And if you want to call it something else, that's fine too.
Excellent.
But that's sort of what I'm feeling right now. So.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
On to our final drink.
Okay.
Final question. What are we drinking?
Red breasts. In honor of you. Because I know you and I wanted you to be happy. Cheers.
Can't go wrong. All right. So our final question is a flip of the coin question.
Okay.
So here we have our
Let me place my crystals on the table.
Whiskey Wednesday coins.
Yes. So I pick one?
Go ahead, pick one. Very nice. Well, that's yours. So
Okay.
they're all yours, but please keep these. Excellent.
Okay.
So you can flip it, spin it,
Oh
do
man,
whatever
this
you
is
want.
pressure. When's the last
So-
time I...
Here it is.
Okay.
You are one of the few people that has worked with all the guilds in the bar industry. Is it true that you're the mastermind behind the campaign Keep the Guilds Out of the Bar Business?
What do I do? Flip this coin? And the coin's gonna give you the answer?
It
Oh
sure is.
no! Who gave you that question?
Me. I know it's not you.
Oh
but,
my god, I know.
There you go.
Thank you so much. What else can I tell you?
What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, you started doing this because you said you wanted to talk to some folks who don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, usually though, like with quick 5 questions, you were the quickest I've ever had.
Really?
So, yeah, like that was super.
What do you think that says?
That you don't like to talk about yourself.
Okay, it's accurate.